Okay, Sunday morning, kids jumping in your bed, Super Bowl Sunday, decided to make some French toast for the family, and your wife comes downstairs to do laundry and realizes there's a pipe leak. Like every guy's weekend. So, we're going to look about fixing it. It looks like I fixed it once before and we have a leak. But I know it lasted at least a year or two. We have a copper pipe to a PEX pipe with a shark bite fitting in between. So I'm thinking the drip's coming right from there. So we're going to look at that. Okay, tools. Every man should have its own toolbox for only plumbing. Also electric and etc. We're going to go with a shark bite half to half fitting. We have some couplers. And we have some clamps for the PEX tubing. You're also going to need a clamp press tool, whatever you call it, and some PEX piping. The blue is for cold, red is for hot, and you're going to need a cutter, which would do PVC or PEX, drywall saw, a utility knife, and maybe a nice rotary drill to cut out the drywall. Okay, so here's the drip. A little lesson, I don't know, I always do this every time I repair. Every time I do repair, I add a valve. So I must have put that in, which actually makes me very happy. I don't have to shut off the main. All I gotta do is shut off that, and that will stop the water going in that direction. Because my water is coming from this direction moving forward. So this way the kids can still use the bathrooms and things like that. So I'm just cutting off basically the kitchen and the downstairs bathroom. So I turn that off. And again, I'm going to cut here shortly. And then get some buckets ready, because once I take this off, the water that's on the other side of the house will basically start coming down. So you want to open up your sinks to allow the water to kind of flow backwards. So we're going to cut some drywall. The drip stopped because I turned off the valve, and I opened up the kitchen sink cold and the bathrooms downstairs. So basically there's going to be a little water left in the pipe, but there's no pressure. So that's why it's not coming out. A tool I didn't show you was a nice little like hacksaw for cutting copper piping. I am going to cut the pipe and then take off the fitting so I can run a new line. So as I'm cutting, some water is going to go out. Just have a bucket ready.
No.
With a lady. I'll let that drain out and then I can finish cutting. Okay, so we got the fitting off, the shark bite fitting. Little tool I didn't show you about here. Let me jump down. There's this little orange deal. You hold that down there. And basically what you do is you take it and you can push back on it to pull it out. Just one on this little plastic piece. And then you can almost kind of reuse it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to want to reuse it. Figuring something went wrong maybe. Anyway, so I have a 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch coupler. This is going to go into the PEX piping. Before I put in the PEX piping, I got to put a clamp over, and then I'm going to throw this into the PEX piping, and then now I'm going to clamp it down. So as you watch, you got this special tool that goes in here, and basically it'll just tighten that clamp up, give it nice and good, and that's in. So now I got my coupler, and what I'm going to do is I'm trying to cut another PEX piping. Now the reason I'm not using blue is I found some clear, so it doesn't confuse you. And then basically we're going to go into the here, and then this is going to connect into here. So we'll show you that in a bit. So basically I took this PEX pipe and I literally just put it in here and pressed it in, and now it's in. Won't come out unless I use that little orange tool I was talking about to push this back to pull it out. So now what's nice is you can go from now PEX or PVC to copper. So now I'm going to push this onto the copper piping, and I'm just going to give it a nice yank. So now we're on. So now we're PEX to copper, a new fitting, and it's on. So now it's just lining this up to connect. I'm going to put a clamp on as you can watch. I'm going to put my clamp on. Don't forget the clamp. I've done it so many times. And basically I'm going to fight it here to try to get this to go in here. So now I was able to fight it. I got it on. Sometimes it's a little battle. And I'm going to now clamp that on. Just make sure they're snug together, nice and straight. Clamp tool and press. Get a nice squeeze. Good. Okay, now we'll turn on the valve and we should not see any drips. Okay, now water will be flowing, and I'm going to go now turn off off my valves now in my sink. So, okay, with everything off, it is on full pressure, and we have no leaks. So I'll keep an eye on it as the day goes by, but I think we're in good shape. And I think this took maybe 30-40 minutes. The hardest part was just getting all the tools out and cleaning everything up. You can put a little door on here to access it, or honestly a laundry room. I'm just going to keep it. That way I can keep an eye on it in the future. But again, the valve helped me out big time today. Could shut it off without anybody complaining. They can use the other half of the house. So I always recommend adding valves wherever you can. Okay, signing off.